be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. The beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Okay, Coach, we are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Miami Dolphins. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Ready? Blue ready. Yeah, give me traps. Let's go.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 12, Winston. Open man is Galladay, complete. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
He'll get this one to Galladay.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
First down, and it's Pollard again. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
This is caught, and they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Stop! 180! Check, 59. Man, that's trash. That's trash.
Now here's Pollard. He takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Ready? Ready? Rip left. Tight ends on the loosey. Tight ends on the loosey. Tight ends on the loosey. Even.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He finds Corey Davis. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Jameis to throw it. Screenplay, Johnson. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Ready. Declare 25 behind. Wait. Watch the run.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
They're running it.
Now it's Trubisky. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
On 1st down, Trubisky. He'll take a shot for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. As his guys are in for 6. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Now this one complete to Corey Davis. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. He'll get this one complete to Davis. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, Something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open. That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Winston now. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
55, mark, 55. Bound to lose one.
They run. It's Johnson. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Five. Check.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Let's go.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Trubisky will throw. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
On 2nd down, Pollard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. 2 minutes to play. First half, it's 14-0. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on 4th down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have, because I think they were looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on 4th down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, you're not got too many attempts shorter than that one. And I don't think this was blocked. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? that was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Ready. Blue ready. 55. Been a long day for you.
3rd and long for Winston. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Winston. They will find Davis. That's complete. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Winston now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. They go play action. Winston throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Jameis again. Now they go screen. It's complete. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game, as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, let's go.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. To throw on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. And going deep. He's got a man. Complete. 39 yards there. A big one. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the third quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. There goes a deep ball into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Following the interception, Winston. And Jameis is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger, and this time it costs them 2 points.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On 2nd and 11 now. Trubisky. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Check the outs. Check the outs. Check the outs. Alert, 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 alert.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. That one complete to Hill. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
You must be dreaming. Check safety. Check safety. Alert, 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 alert.
Run for Pollard. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he will find his man on the outside. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they? When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Trubisky. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Will Harris there to make the play.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Gets this one to Hill. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 25 yards that time. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's kept the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
They come up in an offset eye. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
Again, it's Trubisky. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Hassan Reddick in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. To throw, Winston. This one complete to Lacy. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 2nd and 5 now. Winston firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Uncorks one for Davis. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Winston to throw for it on fourth. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Go, go.
Here's Trubisky. And going deep for Hill. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Check, 59. Alert, 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 alert.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And this is Parker, complete. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now it's Trubisky. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. From 4 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. The 40. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for the Lions. 53 yards.
And the Lions first down.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. Here's Winston. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Switch.
Jameis to throw it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Winston. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. This one winding toward a conclusion, and how would you assess how the secondary is played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th. Now Winston on 4th down. And this is incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Sean Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
At the 6-yard line.
After the sack on 1st down, Trubisky going down the middle, and it's complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sean Robinson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Sean Robinson getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Now it's Trubisky. And going deep for Hill. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Dolphins, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.